Okay, hello everyone and welcome to Ero Pc F3. There we go. Let me get all my stuff loaded, let me get back into the rhythm of things. Don't need tyres for quali. Very nice. So, this is Rain 0, aka the pre-season race for this tier. As we have Mitch being beaten out onto track by David Hoy. So, we'll go on board with David for the first lap, presuming Mitch doesn't try and launch it down his inside in quali, which would be great entertainment. Please do so. What a start to the season that would be anyways. We have an interesting tier, shall we say, this season for PCF3. We have easily the best tier on PC. It's not even matched by PCF1 and PCF2. Those are rubbish, don't bother watching them. I mean, do watch them, but always make sure you come to PCF3 first. This tier is way better than the others. So, let me get a picture up of the grid and we'll go through who we have in this tier. Very nice. Okay, to the standings we go. So have a look. Who we got? So in Mercedes we have actually, you know what, I'll do this once David Hoy's on his first lap. Because you know what, I still need to do my classic, give you a rundown of the track. Then we'll go through the grid. So, on board with David Hoy for the first lap of the new season. At the final corner, taking it in fifth to maximise traction, not to spin. It is a corner where you can lose traction, activating the DRS just after the line, and then it's a 1.4 kilometre straight down towards turn 1. One of the longest start-finish straights on the calendar, down to 4th. Doesn't ride too many of the curbs on the inside as you can do. That final one there is not ideal. There's a Williams getting out of the way nicely. On to the next DRS straight, where you head down to brake at 100 metres. Try aim for the apex of these corners. Avoid the bumps though, because they can throw your car off unless you're running traction control, which in that case they're not going to run you, well, mess up your lap. Then through the double apex hairpin and into the fast flowing middle sector, where you want to use as much of the curbs as you dare and keep the minimum speed as high as possible. Try not to invalidate, which David doesn't, which is ideal. And then into the final sector now, braking just after the start of the curb. Hook it on the apex, use a bit of the curb on the exit, then brake it about the black box. Hook it onto the apex, use a lot of this curb as you can, and then open up the final corner as much as possible. And round to the line for a lap around Mexico. That's a 16.5 to start us off from David, as Mitch was invalidated. Start as you mean to go on. To Avila will be next, goes across the line 17.7. That's not a Williams, actually that's a Williams starting the lap. So now we have two Red Bulls of Zhymienchuk and Kopytolowski. Zhymienchuk does a 17.6, Kopytolowski 19.6. Morton Schultz does a 20.3, Alka Marlin 18.3. And then the Aston Martin must have been validated. So we look all the way back to the second sector, where we have Jacob Clapper on a lap in the Aston. So that's most of the first runs done. Let's have a look at the oh, that's a spin. The grid. So in Mercedes we have Claudio Herbert, currently on a lap here, so we'll go forward with him. And his teammate for the season is Tamas Kovac, was a PCF3 driver last season. Not racing today. And in Red Bull, you've got the Polish duo of Kopytolowski and Zhymienchuk, who are currently 2nd and 5th. In Ferrari, you've got Mitchell Snape and Matthew Churek. Churek's not here today. In McLaren, we have Rafael Ferraz and Oscar Eberson. Oscar Eberson's not here today, but Rafael is. In Alpine, we have Gavin Varga. Again, not racing today, as well as his teammate Jack Andrews. However, we do have a reserve driver of Bjorn Rasmussen in the car today. AlphaTauri is Adam Baki, who has not turned off, he was meant to be here, and to Avila, currently sitting P3. Aston Martin is Marek Ivanek and Jacob Clapper, both currently 8th there. Well, just one of them 8th there on the lappers. Claudio sets a very nice time of a 17.777. Raphael's on 8th lap. Who have we got actually out there? Mitch, the old reliable, the Ferrari. As moving on, we have the Williams of Hauke Marlin, and it would be Martin Bellac. Bellac's not here today, so we've got a reserve of Rodrigo Martins. Then Alfa Romeo, you've got Daniel Bakalik and Morten Schulze. Haas, David Hoy and Adam Lapage. And then your reserves, Alfie Harvey's not racing today. Benjamin Woodford not racing today, and the other two have already been mentioned, as Mitchell's a 17.9. There we go. Now I've got the waffle out of the way, let's get back to the important action. Because let's be honest, that's what you're here to see, not me chatting absolute rubbish. Yeah. I'll have the chat up. That's not stable. I'll do that. No, that's also not a good idea. Me trying to figure out stuff is always great. Anyways, we currently have Raphael on a lap, heading into sector 2, hooks it nicely over the inside curb there, runs it out using all the track, doesn't exceed track limits into the double apex hairpin. Pick it back up on the exit, and he's going very nicely here into the middle sector, avoiding the curbs on the inside of the corner there. Has to brake quite a bit in the middle sector, as I think that portion of the track's really going to decide, well, if you'd like David Hoy or anyone else. As most people, like, you know, mid to high 17s, while David's on a 16.5. Cheers, David. Anyways, around the final corner now for Raphael, and it's going to be a 18.2 P7 for the McLaren driver. We have anyone on the lap. 2 of English just started. That's ideal. So, 9 drivers to set a lap so far out of the 15. As that looks sounded like a heavy lockup from the AlphaTauri, as everyone just staying a bit shy away from the curbs at the moment. I don't think David did, considering he did 16.5, and what we saw is like he did in the middle sector. He was very quick through there, and I bet if you looked at the individual sector times, that would be where you see the highest or the most improvement from him over the rest of the grid. As two of you in the middle sector gets out really nicely. To be fair, that should be some time. That's 2.5 temps up, and you can see why. Bit of a wobble there, misses the apex on both parts of the hairpin, and then in the final corner to the line, it's a 17.3 and puts him up to P2 for now. David's still 8 temps clear of everyone else, so you might as well take a break in the garage, go get a drink or something, as Hauke was 7 temps up in the Williams, but seems to have made a mistake. And that was just in the first sector alone, so Hauke's definitely got a lot of time in this lap. As Julian hasn't really managed to recharge. What about his teammate? Again, no. So we'll go and have a look. Oh, Ivanek's gone to P2. Very nice. Close to David Hoy. Very nice. We're on board with his teammate instead. Let's see how he's getting on. So, currently in the middle sector, Let's see how much speed he can carry through here. How much of the curbs is he willing to take? Takes a bit of that one. Manages to keep it pointing the correct way this time around, which is what he'll be happy to know. 57.9 middle sector. Not a clue how good that is, I'll be honest. And into the final sector. Plenty of battery left to finish the lap. And let's see what time it's going to be. Looks like a decent lap. It's an 18.2, which puts in P8 as... Hold on. I am going to quickly try and answer message. This is why I have this copy link. Right, I need to get focused. Hauke has gone to P4 with a 17.3 as well. Just behind to Avila. Mitch is 2 tenths down, but he saved all his battery back. Who is... Mitch is starting again, so we'll go on board with Mitch. Try not to curse him in the process. My Discord is being very good as I try to copy, paste. There we are. Very nice. So, how is Mitch getting on? I didn't see what his first sector was like, but he's a 10th up, so that's a good start. As they're heading through the middle sector. Attacking the curbs here, which is what you like to see. This shows that he's confident as... Oh, he's completely missed that apex and backs off the lap. He had the idea, he had the confidence, and then forgot to steer. Well, that's fine. We can always go again. How about Claudia then? How is the Mercedes doing? Bit more aggressive into turn 1, but compromises his turn 2 a bit. On the line there of the track limits, as he's now crossing the first sector line. 2.5 tenths down already, which is not ideal. What about Kopylovsky? I don't know who he's doing, because I didn't get a delta, but we'll assume he's doing well. He seems to still be pushing. And yeah, the battery's still on, so let's hope it's a good middle sector. Manages to get it really nice over that first inside curb. Hooks that one nicely, gets a bit of rotation from it as well. And gets a decent middle sector. And 6 tenths up, which is a good start. And then coming through the final sector. Gets that very nicely, to be fair. Over the inside curb, now he's just going to want to build the throttle. Bit wide out the final corner. And it's still P11, but it's an improvement, which is good to see. What about Bakalik? Here's Bakalik going to fare in this qualifying. 2.3 seconds up in Sector 1, purple Sector 1 it says. If that's correct, I don't know, but it could be. So, it's looking nice from the Alfa Romeo. These lines are very good using all of the track. Now into the middle sector. Can he keep this up? Bit hesitant on the curbs, but that's not going to be the downfall of the lap. That's still, he's managed to keep the minimum speed up very nicely there. As he's now 5.3 seconds up, heading through the final sector. As now round the final corner and up to the line. It's P4 for Bakalik. So, I've seen Jimmy Enchuk go up to P4 in the Red Bull. Who else have we got? Is Morton on the lap? No. Let's go on board with Mitch then. Opening up turn 1 nicely. Hooking it across the curbs. Mitch is actually pretty confident, it seems, to take the curbs. As, let's see, has that gained him any time in sector 1? It's gained him 2.5 tenths. As he continues to take pretty much every curb in sight. Hopefully he doesn't do that for every curb on the track. Some of them are probably worse than they are good. As again, he's got a bit deep there. He's had to shift it down to 5th, but he's managed to recover it nicely. And he's almost 4 tenths up. Oh, well, he's 3.5 tenths up. And if he can keep this one up in the final sector, manages to hook it nicely onto that apex across the curb there, nice as well. And again, gets that nicely through the final corner, up to the line for Mitch. It's going to be a 17.5 flat, which puts him P7. Very nicely in the middle of the field. As Jacob is not improving. Claudio's not on a lap. Raphael is currently 2 tenths down, but we'll see if he can recover that in the middle sector. As we don't have timing because there's yellow flags, can they please leave? No, great, thank you. Because I'm going to be able to read it in that amount of time. But it looked like a good middle sector for Raphael, and he's now 3 tenths up. So it was a good middle sector for Raphael. As again, it's completely blocked off the timer. Great. Very cool. Anyways, bit deep into the final corner. Well, he managed to get it going again, and now up to the line, 17.6 P8, and that is a nice improvement for the McLaren driver. As what else have we got? Rodrigo Martin sending back to the pit, same with Bjorn. As qualifying is pretty much over now. There you go, the timer has stopped. Shows I don't know if he didn't even get a lap in. As Halkett has jumped to P3 with a 16.9. Who's even on a lap as the session has ended? Just Kopydolovsky, who's 4 tenths up in sector 1. It's all on the Red Bull to do the business then, as the Williams behind him has spun out. Let's see how he manages to get the middle sector. Looking fairly decent, to be fair. That should be an improvement on his time. And he's 7.5 tenths up actually, so very nice. As now into the final corner. Let's see where the Red Bull can go. I'm thinking P7, 8, 9 maybe. You seem to have lost a lot of time in the final sector actually. Let's P12. And that is going to be your grid. So, there is your grid for this pre-season race. Well, David has got pole with, yeah, 1 lap. Thanks, David. Anyways, Ivanek is not too far behind him, and hopefully David just set his perfect lap on his first go. Okay. Right, let's get going then for this race. What do we have? We've got some flags which they're being swung at a very horrible frame rate. Which is, you know, useful. Is that the podium in the background up there? It's got like the sponsors behind it, so it might be. It's on a slope though, which doesn't seem safe. I don't know, I don't think that's the podium. Anyways, let's get going for this race. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We are away here in Mexico for round 1 as David manages to get a good start. However, Ivanek gets a better start and has jumped him immediately. Those two pulling away straight now down towards turn 1 as Hauke is under pressure from Tuavila and Snape. As there's a big launch there from the Williams who's hit into the back of David Hoyes. There's damage to the Williams as Mitch goes round the outside there up into P4 I've seen in the Ferrari. There's absolute chaos there at the back. Jumienchuk being spun round as let's get the tyres up quickly. It's a mixture of hards and mediums for the drivers as Raphael side by side here. Mitch also trying to no, not Mitch, Bakalik trying to defend us. There's been another shunt there as Morten Schultz has gone straight into the back of one of the drivers and he's now trying to rejoin around the outside of Rafael Ferraz as Adam Lapage is already up to P9 in the Haas, but he's going to have to sit behind the Alfa Romeo in sector 2 here, who has front wing damage, so I think he's just going to try and get a good run. He's completely cut the corner off. I'm not too sure about that one, as there's a spin there for an Aston Martin there. Jacob Clappert, he has gone round as in front, someone's almost drove into the back of someone, I don't know who that was, as Adam just trying to push his way through Morton here. I pressed the wrong button. As Morton heads into the pit lane, which is going to release Adam into clean air. Further up the field, Mitch is 4 tenths back, but he seems to have no straight line speed. Someone who does seem to have straight line speed is Bakalik, who's going for the move onto Ovila for P5 in this race. As Bakalik on the harder tyres, and there's contact there, and Bakalik is going to have a bit of a half spin and is round. As that's going to drop him all the way down to P11 for now. Just trying to flick through the grid to catch everything here at the moment. As Ivanek takes the lead early on in this race ahead of David, which is ideal as he doesn't want to let David have that lead, so he could potentially drive off as Jumienchuk, putting a bit of pressure on his teammate here, who actually falls for it, goes a bit deep. This is inviting Bakalik as there's a spinner of Mitchell Snape in the Ferrari, and oh, he's completely in the middle of the track. That's got to be a safety car. No, just a VSC. Just a VSC. Realistic gameplay. Very realistic gameplay. That is Mitch's end to pre-season very early on here. Unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. Tuavila pits. No, not Tuavila. Hauke pits to get a new front wing after he sustained damage on lap 1 of the race. We'll probably be getting underway in a few corners time, I'd think. I bet the leaders would be loving it to end right now, which it might be. They are getting on the throttle. As hopefully no one picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Raphael also hot on the tail of Tuavila as we have restarted, and Clapper has got a drive-through for speed under VSC, which is what I directly said not to do. Let's have have a look here as Jimmy Entruck makes a move on his teammate. Was that team orders? Was it just Jimmy Entruck getting a better restart off the VSE? I don't know, as Bakalik's now going to be putting the Red Bull under immense pressure here. Bakalik with a very nice middle sector. He's going to be in the slipstream. However, both drivers have DRS, but that's not going to really do much. As yes, VSC are boring. VSC is boring. I agree. We should get rid of VSCs because they add nothing to the race. Anyways, Raphael here in the slipstream of Tervila, as Halka's got a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. I don't know how he's managed that. But Raphael is down the inside of the AlphaTauri driver and has managed to get the move done on the harder compound as well, so the mediums are clearly rubbish. Apart from for Adam Lapich, who's going to go for the move for P4. And from the back of the grid, he's already up 11 places. And he's now right in the back of Raphael. He probably could have snuck a move there, but he's not suicidal on lap 4, which is a good idea. Mitch has been pushed wide by a moped. I don't think there's meant to be mopeds on the circuit, as Adams pulled out the lag switch to scare to Avila. So the new thing has have installed into their car this season to try and scare their opponents off the road, and honestly, if I was to Avila, I would have been terrified for my life and gone straight into a wall. As Adam just choosing to stick behind Raphael here, while also trying to scare to Avila from getting close to him, so there's not a double overtake on Raphael. Knowing Adam is probably running about 6 wings and will probably absolutely fly past Raphael. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. As to Avila not really able to get close, but Adam is going to make that move. Obviously, he's going to get the benefit of DRS twice, which is useful. And that's a double Haas podium already, as Adam, again, trying to scare Raphael off the road this time instead. Which is, you know, interesting, as Mitch thinks people are driving with a blindfold. I'm not sure how road legal that is. Maybe if there's factual evidence that someone's driving with a blindfold, maybe that can be penalised, but unless you've got the evidence, then, you know, I'm not sure what we can do about that. As looking forward to this season as the pairing of the Haas drivers isn't fair. Well, Adam can't keep it in a straight line half the time. And he also has already got 3 seconds, so he's clearly not got the capability to keep it on track, as someone else who hasn't at this current time is Rodrigo Martins, who's doing a few burnouts. Is there any fans around here to see that? I mean, I guess the ones... No, not really. He's preparing already for when he becomes a champion, clearly. As I'm just watching Adam's icon move all over the place on the minimap. Not ideal. What about David then? What can David do? He's got basically a full tank of battery. He just doesn't really care about using it. And, well, he's just going to sit here. So, yeah. Interesting. Claudio going for the lunge strategy of follow the car and just lunge at them, see if they blink and go flying off the track. As the first time today I've touched my computer. Mitch, do you want to know what you do? Go pick up your Nintendo Switch, load up Pokemon and play that instead, because yeah, it's way more enjoyable. And oh yeah, get like a box, prepare some version exclusives ready to send me over. Anyways, enough of me talking about Pokemon to Mitch, back onto the race. Claudio is close to the back of Avila here, and has got a good amount of battery. His head's sort of in the way. He got 30%, but he's not really close, as we've got to move for the lead. And David's then proceeded to lose all traction and clearly someone's thrown an ice cream and it's melted on the track or something, as David's, yeah, I don't know. I think we're playing Mario Kart or something at this point, as David trying to get that move back, but Vanic's just like, nah mate, you're not doing that. As these three here, all still close together. Cardio goes a bit off track. Oh, Jimmy and Chuck, that's not ideal. Keeps it out of the wall though, which is actually ideal. However, he's going to have a bit of progress to make again. He's about 6 seconds behind that train there that he was in. And he's got Halka on his tail, who's already been into the pit lane, and honestly he's not doing too bad for his positioning on track. As David is going to have another shot at it now. As David Hoyt makes a move into P1. As Vanek gets a decent exit there, and he's going to put him under pressure. I'm just checking something. Oh, there's yellow flags. I don't know who's got yellow flags. I think that's Clapper in the final corner. As Claudio still putting pressure onto Avila here, but proceeds to run off track at that corner every lap. Although it doesn't give you a penalty, but if someone reports it and he is pretty much going to fly off track, I can ask for the OB. And stuff like that, then, yeah, it's not looking good, bruv. As Jacob Clapper picks up 3 seconds, there's a spin of... literally, I clicked on his name twice and then it goes, nah. But as Kopozlovsky, the other Red Bull, as how are his tyres looking? His tyres aren't overheating. He's probably just got on the throttle a bit early. His Bakalik now looking for a move to the outside. And, oh god, what have I just clicked to? Halka's off track. And he's now rejoined right in front of these two. Does he have damage? Jimmy and Chuck spinning. Nearly. And Halka's now got 3 seconds. What is going on? There's more yellow flags. There's an Alpine on the main straight. I think that's Bjorn Rasmussen. Bakalik here is putting immense pressure on the Red Bull. But Kopodolski does have DRS to defend with, and he's going to drag himself close to the back of Halka Marlin in the Williams. As Bakalik's going to try squeeze it through that gap. They're side by side here. Who's going to come out on top? It's a drag race now. Bakalik's not got batteries onto the grass, and I'm not sure about that one. As they're still side by side, as Rafael Ferez picks up a 3-second time penalty. Bakalik does manage to get ahead in the end, and now he's looking at Halka as the Alpine of Bjorn moving out the way now. As Bakalik putting Halka under pressure, Halka having to lift quite a bit, and he spun. Oh, that's the Williams off into the wall. I'm guessing his tyres are cooked because he seems to be having a lot of snaps here and there. There, I think 99, one of them was. As two of Avila's in. Morten Schultz has binned it in the middle sector, and that's a safety car. How many seconds does Halka have? I think he served 5. That's how many seconds Halka has. At 24. In 10 laps, he's got 24 seconds. Yeah. Right. How much is that per lap? Right, so to get 24 seconds, that's 8 lots of free warnings. That's so 24 to 2.4 warnings per lap. So it's like 0.8 seconds a lap of penalties. I think. No, definitely not. 2.4 seconds a lap of penalties as David Hoy pits. Ivanek does not. Will we see a double stack at Haas? We will. Raphael does not pit on the hard tyres. Claudio does pit. Let's watch their pit entrances, see if they are being legal. That's not legal. What is the projected final penalty? The projected final penalty is 72 seconds, which unfortunately isn't possible, so I'm saying a disqualification. Sorry, I need to go check the chat as I'm seeing Backlick saying WTF, also known as what the fridge. Oh, he's just got something stuck on his screen. He has a glitch where his engineer is just permanently talking. David gonna be rapid. David is gonna be rapid. He also doesn't need to pit again. So, let's play a game of what lap are we going to have people. What lap are people? Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh, someone's hit someone. Oh. Safety car's being a bit funky. Right, so Backlick's tapping off under safety car. That's not ideal. Take a deep breath and get the sentence out. Did you hear what I said about Pokemon earlier, bitch? I didn't get a response. But if you didn't, then yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's a spin. The Red Bull of Papadorovsky. What else we got? As Hauke's got a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Oh. I feel like everyone's just pausing their game. Re-say the kind words. I said, So when you crashed out, I said load up your Nintendo Switch, go and play Pokemon. And I asked, could you potentially sort me a box out of all of the version exclusives so we can trade at some point while you're here. You know, I was just thinking. Anyways, I need to stop getting distracted with Pokemon constantly. I've been playing too much of it. Well, it's a good game, I'd recommend, but this is PC F3, not Pokemon. Okay, safety car in this lap. Very epic. I can finally stop talking about random stuff and ignoring the gameplay because I don't really care about how people are driving the safety car, except for if they report it and then, yeah, crash lol. I like how you say this on stream. I don't care, Mitch. There's nothing else to talk about during a safety car. I'll be honest with you. Anyways, this is a nice slow restart. Just what we like to see. Anyways, when is Ivanek going to go? He's going to want to go as late as possible so he doesn't get murdered down the straight. As he goes out the corner, has he caught Raphael lacking? Lacking? Has he caught him slacking is what I meant to say. There's yellow flags, that is Jacob in the Aston Martin, as no one's getting a run on anyone really. Maybe Kopodolowski is, and Rodrigo Martins to be fair. And that's a nice move from the Red Bull. Forces him onto the curb, squeezes him up against it, and oh, that's Raphael. And David's second on mediums. That are 3 laps old. And, well, everyone else has to pit anyway. So, if David has 2 sets of mediums that are both fresh, then, yep, he's probably going to get the move for the lead and then drive off, as Bakalik has done a few spins for us. Very nice. Loving the pirouette as Leif is just like down to 7th. And there's also an Alpha Tauri running a bit wide. Jimmy Enchuk's now putting Halka Marlin under pressure. He's going to look down the inside, but that was a bit audacious, to say the least, as I keep clicking the run buttons on my keyboard. As, yeah. DMs don't exist. No, they don't, Mitch. They're not a thing, and I don't care. It's a pre-season race, leave me alone. Anyways, Halka, 3 tenths behind to Avila. Using the 4%. How's he on 4% battery after one? I don't know. Oh, yeah, lovely. That's how you overtake. What a move. I mean, he's still, like, you know, side by side with two Avila. Oh, I've just seen Rodrigo Martin. I went nice Halkers again in the back. The Williams, I swear, just did some Houdini magic and swapped. What? Someone help me, my brain's not functioning correctly. David, can you make an overtake that I understand, please? That isn't a attempted... Well, that doesn't look like an attempted murder. Because that's what a lot of these have looked like so far. Adams falling away from the front two. He's probably lagged 7 tenths behind. I wouldn't be surprised. There's now yellow flags and Halka's out of the session. That's a VSC. Let's play a game of where is Halka's car parked? Right in the middle of the track. Lovely. Just a VSC, you know. Cars in the middle of the track. Completely safe. Just get the crane out on the track. Yeah, you're sorted. Personally, I think David Hoy's a good shout for the win because it's David Hoy and he's absolutely rapid. He got pole on his banker lap because it's David Hoy. That's just David Hoy things. Every Ivanik's been doing a great job in the Aston, and he's maintaining some really solid pace on these hard tyres. So, again, if there's another safety car, could shake things up, and Ivanek could definitely be in a shout for the win. As the medium runners, I mean, they can go to the end, their tyres won't be ideal. But if there's another safety car, then it sort of bails them out onto a double stop for another set of mediums. And yeah, as we have a drive-through for Kopyzlowski and just Kopyzlowski. As we also have a move happening to Avila and Kopyzlowski, and Kopyzlowski has got a drive-through and he's also near down to 8th place. Not ideal. Adam will pop a spin eventually. Right, we're gonna stay on board with him. No, we're not. I don't want to watch Adam because the gameplay that you have to watch on board with that guy is not fun. We're nearly halfway through the race and only 3 people are 8. Woo! Exciting. If you're enjoying, if you like PC F3, then no. Bjorn's out. No safety car there. Oh no, VSC again. Let's go. 3rd VSC. Oh no, it's a full safety car. Hello. That's a bit more interesting. Very cool. So, 2 VSCs, 2 full safety cars, 11 drivers left in the race. No points available, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, and also it's a pre-season race. You can still report stuff, by the way. I'm not let's not. Maybe don't say that. What line? As one line is that people are going pit lane. To Avila is not going to the pit lane. Rodrigo Martins is. Jacob Buffer is not going to the pit lane. Bakalik, maybe? Yes! Let's see if he can fix his glitch in the pit lane. Very cool. That's an illegal pit entry. That's also a speeding in the pit lane. 10-second pit entry, that's what you call that. What's I gonna do? I've loaded up Discord, but I don't know why I've loaded up Discord. Can someone help? My brain's not working. What was I gonna do? Oh no, I'm just annoying myself now. Mitch, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said anything. How dare you assume that I would make such a inappropriate comment? Anyways, I think Bakalik's thing didn't fix. Is my fault. Can we restart? Like, it's not that important, is it? Like, you know, send the safety car in because I don't know. It's just a bit of fun, really, isn't it? If you're left behind, shame. I don't know. Everyone's on fresh tyres though, pretty much. So, you know, Haas 1-2. Hasta la vista. And Bakalik is fuming because the glitch is still there. Hey, you see, these are the insights you wouldn't normally get. Another insight is that Adam Leify just decided to do his one spinner race under a safety car and tactically blow the Haas 1-2 like an absolute spanner. How does one speed into the it's just a slow button? Shockingly, Haas 1-2. It's not a Haas 1-2 anymore, Mitch. It's not a Haas 1-2 anymore because Adam is useless. He should be fired and give his seat away to one of the reserves, as clearly he's not deserving of driving such a prestigious car. Anyways, safety cars in this lap, which we love to see. David Hoy's leading the restart this why is there a Williams in a wall? Why is that a thing that's just like... I'm not surprised, to be fair, all that much. But at the same time, why is there a Williams in a wall? I don't know. So we go nice and slow for the restart. David's going... Oh, Jimmy Entry. No! K's fine, but Adam's now up to P2. As David Hoy leads the way in this race. That's ideal for him. And it is a Haas 1. It's not a... It might be a Haas 1 too. We'll have a look. Can Jimmy Entry keep it round the outside of Adam Lapage is the question. The answer is he can. Adam's going to try pull the lag switch on him, but it's not going to work. And Jimmy Entry moves up into second place to Avila. Also gets past the Haas driver, and there we've got two Red Bull powered cars onto the podium instead, as Adam is being shuffled backwards. Ivanek led most of this race, and he's now going to have a bit of progress to make through the field before he can get back to the front, as he needs to get through this traffic before David Hoy, I would say inevitably runs... Oh, no. Anyways, moving further up the grid, because I'm going to curse everyone out of the race at this rate, as Claudio Herbert looking to the outside, as good luck overtaking Adam when that's what you're looking at. We'll see if he'll manage to find his way through, but it's not looking ideal for him. As Barenko thinks my jokes are funny, thank you very much. If you want to know where I got them from, go to the Albanian chat and contact either Enes Safari or Brendan Gashi, and they will happily send you to, I don't know, somewhere. As Adam's now lost another 2 positions and staying to 6th place, so he's doing really well at maintaining his positions off the restart here. As he's going to be soon under pressure from Kopytolowski if he doesn't pick up the pace a bit. As it seems like he's got absolutely no straight line speed. Which feels criminal to say that Adam Lapage has no straight line speed, because he normally sticks no wings on his car and just goes for it. Don't curse Bakalik, I'll move away from Bakalik there, because I don't want to curse Bakalik. So we'll go to everyone of Rain Bakalik. So we'll go back to Kopytolowski then, who's still following Adam. However, has dropped back a bit on the exit of Sector 3 there with a bit of a mistake, as Rafael moves up into P8 ahead of Rodrigo, who's doing his best to keep it on the track with no front wing. Not no front wing, but a missing end plate at the moment. As DRS has now been enabled. We have Claudio, who's going to try and make a move. Not going to get the benefit of DRS this time range, but he might be able to get it done on the raw horsepower of that Mercedes. Down the straight, side by side with the AlphaTauri into turn 1, and there you go, that is job done for Claudio, as Tuavino doesn't really have a response to that on the older hard tyres. Claudio's in a good spot here, as David's not pulling away as much as you may have thought, considering him and Ivanek sort of just left at the start, but Jimmy Enchuk's doing a really solid job of just sticking with him at the moment, which is all he needs to do, and you never know, Claudio on those fresh tyres could be a factor in the race as well, as they are 7 laps fresher than the 2 in front. So we'll just have to see how he can fare in this race. Oh, there goes Adam. He's decided to pull his actual spin out this time, and that's going to demote him down to 10th place. I'm going to click on to Rafael, as Rafael is on the back of Kopytolowski in the Red Bull. See if he's going to be able to get the move done. He gets a really nice exit off the corner compared to the Red Bull. And he's also going to have the benefit of the DRS, which is going to allow him to get past. However, that Red Bull is pretty quick in a straight line. However, Raphael's going to get ahead and he's going to be able to maintain that here, as he's going to get another dose of the DRS down towards turn 4. And that's going to allow him to just sort of slot himself in, and he's got half a second now up to Bakalik, who is just outside of the DRS of Tuavila at the moment. As let's have a look here, as Ivanik's now got a lot more progress to make than he had before, and his first move's going to be around the outside of Rodrigo Martins here, and ooh, that's not ideal. As they're side by side. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one, I can't lie. As Raphael, he has got up to Bakalik, and I think it's going to be another DRS move for the McLaren. And I tell you something, he's only going to be about 4 tenths behind Tuavila making this move. After he makes the move, if he can get it done, I think he's going to need a slight push of the battery. Or he may be waiting to go for the second straight, actually, which isn't a bad idea either. As if he can get the move done here, he won't be far off the AlphaTauri. He might be able to get into the DRS as well, but it just doesn't seem quite close enough. So maybe he's recharging the battery to give him a chance at 2 overtakes in 1, as Bakalik is doing a solid job to drag himself up to the AlphaTauri. However, being the third car in this train is not going to exactly help Raphael out too much, and he might have wanted to get that move done, as both Williams drivers could do with some oil on the wheel. Get them the WD-40, I reckon that's more suitable tool for fixing it. I think Rodrigo sort of just needed a new front wing, which Rodrigo's now got a new front wing, which is very nice. Anyways, instead of cutting away from a battle that was interesting to watch, we'll watch Raphael, who's trying to capitalise on Bakalik going deep into the corner. He's going to be right on the gearbox of that Alfa Romeo, as he's going to use the DRS. He's not going to use any of the battery. He is going to use the battery a little bit, as he's just going to try drag himself up to the back, but Bakalik's also got the DRS, and he's going to look to make a move on the outside of Tuavila. Doesn't quite get his car far enough alongside there to keep side by side into the corner, as Raphael again, he's going to try and put the Alfa Romeo under pressure into turn 4. However, decides to not send an audacious lunge down the inside, and decides to just keep it where he is for now, as he has got plenty of laps left in this race and can be patient and pick his move at the right time. Oh, that was... Oh, no, he's almost caught that, but that's unfortunate for Raphael. It's good effort from the McLaren to try and catch him, but it's going to demote him down to 8th place. However, he looked to have some pace there and was quite nifty, so he might be able to drag himself back up before the end of the race. Someone else who may be able to crawl back some of the positions they lost is Ivanek. As I say that, he's completely mounted the curb and lost himself a few tenths. There's also a spin from Kopytolowski there, and a lot of the drivers are now getting caught out. As the tyre temperatures don't look that bad actually, but yeah, not an ideal situation to be spinning, as it will heat your tyres up, and the tyre temps are not ideal. There's contact there between Bakalik and Tuavila, and that's going to give Ivanek the chance here to make a move, and yeah, he's going to get that one with ease, as Bakalik is still recovering to the track. And another incident there on the exit of turn 3. Seems like a hot spot for people colliding, which is not ideal, as we get a nice helicopter cam Oh, Claudio spun. That's not ideal, and he's facing the wrong way. It's going to promote to Avila up into third place, but he was a bit terrified there of just a Mercedes in the middle of the track, and that's going to allow Ivanek to potentially close back in on a podium position there. He's got the fresher tyres, and he's got 9 laps to go here, and he just is a tenth or two outside of that DRS. Can he get in? I don't think he did. It was about half a tenth out there, which is unfortunate for Ivanek, but he has got a sizable gap to Bakalik in the Alfa Romeo, who again is under pressure from Rafael Ferraz here, and well, Rafael just doesn't have the straight line speed of that Alfa Romeo right now, it seems, as Bakalik is, well, he's the third car in this train, which isn't, you know, the best place to be. However, a benefit for him right now is Ivanek is... well, Ivanek's not got the DRS in front of him, as he didn't quite get it into the final corner. Obviously, with this track having a double detection zone, Shimienchuk picks up a penalty in second, and that's not ideal for the Red Bull, as if he was able to make a challenge on David Hoy, then that's not going to help him out, as Bakalik runs a bit white there after Rafael manages to move past the Alfa Romeo driver. Did he just about clutch DRS? He didn't. Which is going to allow Bakalik to try and stay close in this final sector, as Claudio Herbert's also back into this, and he doesn't have a penalty. So that's going to really help out the Mercedes driver. He just about gets DRS as well. And while he gets a bit of a poor run through that corner, well, through the final corner there, that's not going to affect him too much, as Ivanek is going for the move for the podium place here. And he doesn't have a penalty either, so that's going to allow him to just defend if people do try and lunge it past him. Bakalik here, close to the back of Rafael. They're all snaking through the first sector here. As Bakalik just drops off a bit there. Rafael with the battery, with the DRS, is going to look to the inside of the AlphaTauri. And he is going to get that move there. That's a spin for Adam Lepage in the Haas. I think he spun on the entrance to the pit lane, as everyone head to tail here for fourth place currently, as Ivanek's just trying to break away a bit. Rafael's going to try and stick with him in that DRS and drag this train along with him to put him under pressure in the Aston Martin, as the other Aston Martin of Jacob Clapper has just had a bit of a spin at turn 1. As well, at the front there's a 15-second gap up to the front two who have ran away with this one. We thought the front two who would run away would be Ivanek and David Toy, but instead it's changed to David Toy and Shimienchuk, who have managed to build a sizable gap, as Claudio, with no penalty, is looking good at the back of this train right now, as there's a retirement from Rodrigo Martins. That could be a safety car, and it is. Ooh. Adam Lepage can be happy. He's literally two corners away from being lapped. That's going to bring out, well, what will probably be a 5-lap sprint to the end. So this whole race might as well have just been stick the grid, do a 5-lapper, and yeah, see how it ends. Anyways, I don't know, I don't think a 5-lapper is very interesting, but it's interesting when you've had 31 laps to build up a whole sort of arc of the story. Let's have a look. Get your bets on then who's going to win this race, as the front two are both in. And they're going to make it out before anyone else can even really decide if they want to stay out to try and counter them. Let's see who comes in out of this train. Ivanek in, Rafael, illegal pet entry, just about. Got a tiny bit of the white line. Into the pit lane everyone goes then. And everyone's onto the soft tyres. wonder whose softs will be fresh. And who will have not saved any in quali and be not really in an awful position, but not as good a position as everyone else's. We have got to wait a while, considering Leipzig and Clarker have got to catch up. However, yeah, I don't know how long that's going to take. They've just entered Sector 3 and the safety car's just entered Sector 2. A whole lap ahead of them as... Oh, that's not ideal for the Aston. However, he's got a bit of a gap to Adam, so and he's going to lose that position. Unless David decides to spin, then he should win. Well, let's hope Hoy does not spin, then he might win. Hoy no spin equal win. Very nice. Claudio could go podium here, as long as he keeps himself out of trouble. Because of penalties, however, he does have a few cars in front of him, so he might not be able to keep with Jimmy in track. He only has one car in front of him, and will have some good clean air to follow through, or follow David probably. Back runner's got to get a move on. Yeah. Only 4 drivers with 8 penalties. I wonder if it's going to be like that at the end of the race. Let's have a look at the penalties actually. Mostly 3 seconds, apart from Tuivasa who's got 6, and Jacob Clapper who's just gone up to 9 under the safety car. And for position changes, Jimmy Enchuk up 3 from 5th on the grid. Rafael Ferraz up 4 from 8th. Claudio up 5 from 11th. And Papatovsky up 4 from 12th. And Leipzig up 5 from the back of the grid, but he realistically hasn't really had a good time, let's say. I mean, he was having a good race. He was 2nd at one point, so he's up 14, and he decided to throw that completely in the bin. Very smart of him. As we still have to wait for him to catch up, as he's decided to go into the pit lane again to get as fresh a tyres as possible, which was a good idea for him. Can you just not do that? Because I'd rather us just get underway, but yeah. Anyways, 10 drivers left. You finish, you get points. Not quite. You make it to lap 30, 90%. Lap 32, you get points. So as long as you finish this lap on the safety car right now, you get points. As the safety car will be out for one more lap, and we'll be restarting going on to lap 33, leaving 4 laps of racing. So instead of a 5-lapper, we've got a 4-lapper. So, you know, the perfect balance of a 5-lapper and a 3-lapper. And it'll probably be a bit chaotic, as I think everyone's just going to be sort of sending it, since, well, it's a pre-season race. However, you can still report things, if you like. As I think you can picture how this season's going to unfold. Crash, spin, report. Me sitting there looking at the reports like, why has this person done this? Are you silly? The answer equals yes, and rinse and repeat. Adam's caught up, finally. I think. Right. Let's get going again. One more run. One Haas will have a good time, the other, you mean David Hoy will have a good time, Adam Leipzig will be in a wall every other lap. Just correcting your sentence for you, as, you know, I think it's quite obvious what's going to happen. Anyways, yeah. let's get going then. 4 laps of don't crash and you get some decent points probably. And try not to murder the person next to you. As David's tyres are a bit frosty. They're all starting to drop into the 70s. Shimienchuk also has all his tyres in the 70s. Everyone all has their tyres in the 70s, to be fair. They're all got some pretty cold temperatures. I think David will spin at one point. Yeah, so that means there'll be 2 Hasses having a bad time. Anyways, when is David going to restart? He's in 5th gear. But it's all Shimienchuk, no. And David's going to definitely go nil and just get that gap. And that's really unfortunate for the Red Bull. And the worst possible time to spin he has spun, as David is now got to be under pressure a bit, as Ivanek does not have a penalty, and we know Ivanek had a lot of pace early on here, so David just needs to keep it on the track and not get a penalty. As he's only got a 6/10 gap, but Ivanek, I'm sure, is gonna keep that no further than that, although he's dropping a bit at the moment as Bakalik's had a spin at the back. And, well, Ivanek is seemingly not getting his tyres up to temp that quick. Oh no, his tyres are actually getting up to temp quite nicely, but as Claudio's picked up a penalty, that's unfortunate for the Mercedes, who's trying to make a move onto Avila. Can't quite do so. It's the Red Bulls. Oh, that's flashbacks to, you know, the Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen seasons. 2 Red Bulls coming together. As Claudio here getting a nice slipstream from Avila. Someone else who's getting a better slipstream potentially is Raphael, but he's not going to go for the move. Claudio has a little look to the inside, but he's not going to send anything stupid, which is fantastic to see. I'm proud of him for that. As Konfidolowski heads to the pit lane. Oh my! We've got a Mercedes missile, but that Mercedes missile hasn't missiled someone. As let's have a look. What's going to happen here? Good middle sector by Claudio, but Avila's also got it really nice. And well, that's going to give him that gap. Are they fighting on penalties? No, to be fair, Claudio doesn't even really need to make the movers. He might go for it anyway. It's further back here, Lakage and Shimienchuk on the back of Clapper. As DRS has been enabled, so we're going to have it being used 4 times before the end of the race, and one of them is fairly rubbish. So, yeah, not ideal. Yeah, it's still long enough for someone to try to bin someone in a ball, as Labour just decided to try and bin himself in a ball. But because it was lagging, it looked like he just drove that way for the fun of it, as there's now only 2 people without a penalty. And it's the front 2. As David Toy has drove off, and he's having the time of his life right now. So, let's see how this one is going to end. Clappers had a spin. Not ideal for the Aston Martin. However's got a pretty big gap backwards and is only going to lose the positions he would have lost to penalties. Here we go then. Only Raphael currently is going to have DRS. So we'll go on board with McLaren to see, can he make the most of it. He's going to deploy the battery. He's going to use the DRS. Let's see how close he can get. He's gained 2 temps, 3, 4. I'm not going to keep counting. But he's quite close to the back of the Aston Martin. Is it going to be enough to make a move on this second straight, though, is the question. I don't know. He's got a bit of battery to deploy, but yeah, no, he's not close enough as 2 more penalties have been acquired individually for Bakalik and Lepage. As well, I think it's a bit too late now for Raphael. It would have just been for merit on track anyways, as it's not going to be a move that would have changed his position overall in the end as well. Oh, there's 2-time penalties in quick succession. 2 Avila up to 9, and I don't see who else got one. Let the fireworks go off, which you can't see because I have particles disabled because I don't want my game to blow up. As David Hoyt reigns to win the race here in Mexico. Ivanek across the line in second, Rafael Ferraz third, 2 Avila across the line fourth, but he's going to drop down to sixth as Jimmy Enchuk jumps all the way up to fourth. So Mr. Claudio, who went up to 6 seconds then. Lepage across the line seventh, and he's going to retain that for Jacob Clapper, who has disintegrated his front wing. Followed by Bakalik in ninth, and then Kopodolovsky, who's going to come across the line in 10th position and would pick up what would be 1 point in the actual race. Very nice. So, he does again give driver of the day to Jimmy Enchuk. And Jimmy Enchuk went from 5th to... It normally gives the fastest lap to the driver who... I mean, it normally gives driver of the day to the driver who got the fastest lap. Well, it's decided against that today, as David's fastest lap was the only one to reach the 1 minute 18s. Pretty much everyone else was in the 19s. But David decided to stick 7 tenths over anyone else. Just because, why not? Here's your race director. Which normally at Mexico you could submit as a university dissertation and you get some solid marks. It's not as long as I've seen in the past. It also wasn't a full grid, so it could be much worse than this. And yeah, there you go. Very nice. Do a quick run through it again in case anyone else wants it again. So, intermission screen. Wow, that works. No way. Oh, I can't believe that. So, that is all we're going to have time for today. We'll have interviews when the main season comes around. However, for today, we're gonna just give it a nice chill vibe, and yeah, just call it off. So, hopefully you enjoyed this pre-season race. If you did, then make sure to come back at 7 PM Fridays every week, where you'll be able to watch this tier race fully competitively for points and all that good stuff. And hopefully, we'll have a great season ahead of us. But for now,